Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. The name here is Talbert Bobley. I'm one of the most famous news editors in chiefs of my time, but the problem is, real news just isn't selling like it used to. So I've assembled a crack team of journalists from all around the world, different walks of life, to help me make up a brand new newspaper. But here's the catch. I think each of them are secretly trying to sneak in one actual news headline, and I can't have that in my paper. If it's all about clicks, then it can't be real. So, we here on the faking news site will not stand for it. The only issue is we don't really have a name for the paper yet, so we'll get around to it by asking you all in the comments later on. Now, instead of me taking my sweet time and wasting yours, let's go ahead and welcome out our first batch of guests. I believe our first guest is a man in a black jacket. He's not much of a talker, and I did not have a lot of time beforehand to really talk to him about who he was, where he was from, or what he's even doing here. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to this guy, who I am also going to be introducing myself to live
It's
on
it,
our wonderful
it's
news.
it's
What was
Gerald
that?
Rivers, sir.
Gerald
Rivers.
Rivers. Gerald Rivers. Welcome, Gerald. Go
Hello.
ahead and tell me, Gerald, what's your area of expertise?
I'm a bounty hunter slash information receiver for NASA. Actually, I just came back from my last trip abroad, and I've been learning some things that NASA doesn't want you to know about.
Oh, you're a NASA guy. So, what's your favorite planet?
Yeah, definitely Uranus.
Thank you very much. You said your name was Gabriel, you said?
No, Gerald. Gerald.
Gotcha. Thank you very much, Gabriel. Thank you very much, Gabriel. So, it's a pleasure to have you here. Just so you know, all of our news is completely made up and fake, made up on the spot. You wouldn't happen to have any trade secrets from the government, would you?
If they happen to come out in this information session, then so be it.
Ah, wonderful. That's the type of thing I like to hear because that's what gets clicks. Government secrets, nuclear codes, and loose papers. Sink papers, loose ships is what they say. That's the phrase. Nice to meet you,
You
Gabriel.
must have been in our last meeting.
Oh, no, actually, I was not in that last meeting. Couldn't be bothered. Let's go ahead and take him away for a second while we talk about the next guest. This lady is perpetually and constantly in some sort of ailment. Whether it be her breaking her back or slipping a disc, you never know. The only thing that we all know about her is that she's always and forever sick. She's never gotten well for as long as we've known her. And yet we still ask her to present the news. Once again, I did not spend time getting a name ahead of time, so may you please introduce yourself as part of our journalistic crack team, Madam Sick Lady.
Thank you. My name is Evelyn Stanek, and I'm just not feeling really great, but I care about what's happening in the world, and so I show up. That's what people need to do. They need to show up, even if it's not, what they want to do, even if they want to go back to bed.
Uh-huh.
Are
you saying, Evelyn, that you would? Are you saying that you would rather be back in bed?
I mean, I would think we would all just like to go back to bed. Just like to be not
in
bed.
Evelyn, quick question. This ailment that you've got, is it something that's contagious to the rest of us? Should we be concerned? All right, Evelyn. Nothing at all, Evelyn. It was a pleasure meeting you. We've got one final reporter that I've got to introduce. This reporter hails all the way from wherever they're from. Pleasure meeting you, Evelyn. Pleasure meeting you, Gabriel. Now we've got our next reporter. She is someone who I believe is a small business owner. I'm not exactly sure from where because, once again, I don't vet the people I hire. I just hire them, trying to get everything going up and running by creating the fakest news you've ever seen. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself, ma'am. How may we refer to you?
Hey, y'all. This is Maggie Lee, short for Magnolia. You can just call me Maggie. I am from Valdosta, Georgia. And you are right. I am a small business owner. I am hustling every day at my boutique, Sparkle Babies.
What do you sell at Sparkle Babies?
We sell everything that a woman needs in her life to stay fancy.
Ah, fancy ladies. Kind of like your name. Can I just call you Noel?
Excuse me?
Can I call you Noel? It's like short for Magnolia.
How about just Maggie?
Okay, Maggie works just fine. How long have you been a small business owner, Maggie?
Oh, about 10 years now. I'm real experienced.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Pleasure meeting you, Magnolia.
Likewise.
Audience, now that you've been introduced to all three of our wonderful journalists, I'd like to show you exactly what we are working on. The paper itself, the top to bottom paper. So if you just take a gander with me at this wonderful thing that I have here on my fancy electronic typewriter, I'll go ahead and show you a couple of things that we will be working on. We don't have a name yet, but once again, if you are watching now, drop a comment below on what this city up here should be, and if it should be Herald or Post. Go ahead and give this newspaper a name, and we'll patch it in as soon as we can. We've got our main headline here, which is the top thing that each of these three journalists are trying to achieve. Getting their news report in the top headline means the big bucks for them in the future. Now, before we get to that main headline, we've got to get ourselves a sports headline, a political headline, and an entertainment headline. Those three coming from the mouths of the journalists themselves. The best beat reporters this side of the Mississippi. I don't know which side we're on, but either side is the best side of the Mississippi. Now, without further ado, we've shown you the paper. We've gotten you the journalists. Let's go ahead and step into the all-coveted newsroom so we can talk to each of the journalists about our first headline, which will be the sports headline. Take their pitches and see who wins. Mr. Editor, go ahead and put us into that newsroom if you don't mind.
Yeah, got you all set up there, boss man.
Now that I've got you all here, let's go ahead and start things off. Who of each of you has the best sports headline? I'll take hands if I need to. None of you. So, okay, Gabriel, go ahead. You've got a sports headline. Hit me with
Gerald.
it.
It's
That's
Gerald.
what I said. That's exactly what I said, Gabriel.
Well, NASA has been developing some new athletic attire, actually, in case that we actually do have full-on conferences with extraterrestrials abroad and decide to do extracurricular activities. We'll have extra special suits that are enabled to go in any direction in any place possible in order to win every competition.
You're telling me if I was to show up to a basketball game, I'd see a lot of people wearing astronaut gear?
We wouldn't be playing basketball. Actually, it'd be this kind of Rocket League type situation because of the aerodynamics in space.
Huh. Interesting. So you're telling me that the sport is occurring in space. So NASA started an entire sports program up in the sky?
It's in development.
So it's not something current yet. It's just about to happen?
We have a couple prototypes, and we've sent some blueprints out connected to some satellites, actually, in case the ones we know.
You're putting the blueprints on the satellites in order to have the sports game. I'm not really able. So the sports game is a blueprint. Listen, I'm going to be honest. You're using a lot of words. I don't really understand most of these words here, Gabe.
I'm being perfectly clear. Okay, this is exactly how we talk at NASA.
Okay, so you're saying that if I were to put your headline in, the headline would be what?
New suits for extraterrestrial sports.
New suits for extraterrestrial sports. New suits for extraterrestrial sports. Let's see how that looks. Right over here, new suits. Let's see if it even fits. New suits for extraterrestrial.
How about ET sports?
ET, beautiful. Let's go ahead and get that the way we need it for ET sports. Beautiful. That's in right now as currently the top headline. Evelyn, Magnolia, either of you have anything better to say?
I feel like that is a misappropriation of federal funds. I mean, why do they need sports? And
because sports is the connection of. Because sports is the connection of all creatures. If we start with sports, we have peace initially. What else do we have to
So you're saying sports is the connection of every single creature? To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen an elephant play soccer.
Well, then you've been looking in the wrong places.
Wait a minute. You've
But
seen...
you know what?
Hang on. Evelyn.
Amoebas never play sports. They don't do anything. They just sit there.
Are you kidding me?
They
It's
just
a
sit there,
race.
and they fester.
No, you know those Olympic sports where they do like snow hiking and then hunting and then running. That's like what amoebas do, just with the particles in the petri dishes. They're hunting those particles.
Let me rope it back in here, Evelyn. You've seen an elephant play sports? You've seen an elephant play football?
That's on
play
the
soccer?
YouTube all the time. Yeah, for sure.
That's a
Totally
player.
seen that happen. Yeah,
That's a better headline than
their-
new suits for ET Sports.
they do it with their little.
That's
their little
old
trunks.
news.
Oh my goodness, Evelyn, is this your sports headline that you're offering up to us right now?
No, I don't care about sports. I don't-
Beautiful, fantastic. Magnolia,
Yeah.
you got anything in the sports related realm? Because right now we're going with new
Yeah.
suits for ET Sports.
Yes. So I heard about this because my son, Trenton, he is a big soccer fan right now. He's in Little League, and I was talking with some of the other moms there about this World Cup that's going on. You ever heard of that?
I have actually. Tell me more.
It turns out it is not just a very large wine glass. That was funny. It turns out that it is this big international soccer competition. And so I was looking more into it because I want to be able to connect with my son because I only get him on the weekends. And I found this headline that says, World Cup host country Qatar under fire for not allowing glitter on uniforms in final match. Can you believe that?
They're stopping the players from being able to wear the most important piece of regalia, glitter, on their uniforms.
Yeah, apparently some of the teams wanted to have like a commemorative patch on their jerseys. But the World Cup, the people in Qatar, they're very strict on a lot of things. They wouldn't let them wear rainbows. They wouldn't let them drink a little Bud Light, and they're also not letting them wear those patches because apparently the glitter can fall off, and it is a ecological contaminant.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
It can also get in your eye and create an infection and make you go blind. That happened to me at one point. I got a little piece of glitter, like, like a pearl in an oyster, just
Thank you.
rose and
Evelyn, there are people currently watching this. I don't want to gross anyone out on stream, if you don't mind. Okay, now, Magnolia, if you were to give a headline to this glitter debacle, what would the headline be?
Stop, drop the sparkle.
Stop, drop the sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
Stop, drop the sparkle. New suits for ET Sports, or stop, drop the sparkle. I don't know, team, which one do you think is going to get more clicks? Stop, drop the sparkle, or new suits for ET Sports? Go ahead and give me your final... You each have 15 seconds to convince me of whatever you think. 15 seconds on the clock, and go ahead, Gabriel.
Gerald, first of all, the sparkle situation is actually NASA's doing, okay? The sparkles on suits portray this visual frequency that Jupiter lunarians hate. They can't stand it. They are attracted to any beings that are holding sparkles of this dimension. And so we had to make sure that they didn't put them on any of the jerseys.
And that's 15. Thank you, Gabriel. I like that. Jupiter lunarians. That's a term I've never heard, but it must be some sort of NASA speak. Evelyn,
Every day.
Do you want the stop, drop, and sparkle, or do you want the new suits for ET Sports? You have 15 seconds starting now.
the glitter.
Thank you, Evelyn. There's your 15 seconds. I see that you want the glitter story. We've got one for glitter. We've got one for new suits for ET Sports. All right. Magnolia, it seems like you are our final one. You have 15 seconds to defend yourself, glitter or ET Sports, and go ahead.
Well, I feel like Gerald over there spent his 15 seconds explaining why my story is even better, because now mine has a connection to NASA and the Jupiter Lunarians. So I Mine is better because the headline doesn't give that much information, and it's just enough clickbait.
15 seconds. Okay, well, it looks like we're going to have to take Magnolias there, Gerard. So I'm going to go ahead and pop Magnolias in for the sports section. It was stop,
His name is
drop,
The world
Gabriel.
needs the
You
world
and-
needs to know
misspoke.
about the suits.
and Glitter
Gabriel.
World. Is that what it is?
Drop the sparkle.
Stop, drop the. Oh, hang on. Stop, drop the sparkle. We're just going to go ahead and have a hanging
Well,
participle
Mag-
down here.
Maggie, when you write the article for this title, I'll send you the documents that you can use as the tail end for the NASA situation.
I think I'll just make something up. That'll be better. But
Wonderful.
thank you.
We have our first headline in for sports. Stop, drop the sparkle. And we'll go ahead and have you draft up that whole thing there, Magnolia. Now, Evelyn, Garbles, and Magnolia, we're going to go ahead and move on to our second, the political headline. What's happening in the world of politics? Would anyone like to go first with their pitch?
I'll just talk about healthcare for a little bit.
No one's going to stop you,
Because-
Evelyn.
It is ridiculous. You get something wrong with you, and maybe it's a week before Christmas, and maybe it's like, busy time for everybody, but you just want to be cost effective when you call around to different urgent cares, because what do? You're not going to get seen by your doctor. Doctor's not going to see you. No, they're going to book you out till Monday. You might die come Monday. It's too expensive to go to the ER, plus the wait is ridiculous, so you've got an urgent care, right? That's your only option.
Evelyn, I'm not intending to cut you off here, but I'm just wondering, where is the news headline? We have a paper
The
to sell.
headline is healthcare crisis.
Healthcare
Yeah.
crisis.
We're
Short-
having a healthcare crisis.
Short,
Because
sweet, and to the
The
point.
best health. What?
I believe that we're having connection issues, but healthcare crisis, I think that's a fantastic headline, Evelyn. I think it's fantastic. You probably have a lot of wax in one of your ears from being sick. Garbles, Magnolia, which one of you would like to go next for a headline for politics?
It's
Can
Gerald.
go, I can go, Gabriel. I'll take over. I have a really good story. There is a very remote town in Canada that just had their midterm elections, just like we did here in the States. And they actually, in a ceremonial move, voted their current mayor out to vote in a moose.
So you're telling me that there's a town in Canada that now has a moose for a mayor?
Yes. It's not like a political thing, like he's not going to be at the city council meetings, but he is going to be their official mayor. I think that they were really fed up with the political system, and so they all decided to write in this moose on their ballots, and I guess there wasn't really a law against it per se, and so the moose did win.
The moose won against normal people to run county government?
Yes. It's a very small town, so I guess that they were able to actually organize, and I think that the supervisor of elections was also in on it, and I think that they just didn't stop it.
Interesting. So we've got a case of a stolen election by a moose, I see. If you were to condense this into a headline, Magnolia, what would it be?
Canada town of 350 people elects moose as mayor in midterm elections.
Gotcha. That's about 15 words, if I
Okay,
count
we can
correctly.
go shorter. Moose on the loose. How's that? Moose on the loose.
Healthcare crisis or moose on the loose. I'm liking the direction this is going. Hang on a second. Let me type this in so I
Listen,
don't
this-
forget it.
This moose thing, this is not just the first time this kind of thing has happened. In Illinois, back in, I don't know, I think it was 1974, there's a pig. Pig became governor of
Okay.
the whole state. So just mayor moose, I don't know. It seems small time and like late to the party.
Well, Evelyn, I like this rebuttal, but it's not time for that quite yet because we still have to listen to Garbles. Garbles?
Gerald.
Sorry, Gary.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, NASA's satellite Excellence 4 gone missing. It was en route around the Earth. It was hovering over North Korea, and it went missing. The orbit was not planned to go that route. It disappeared. And now, personally, I honestly think, the Neptunians actually stepped in and took it for North Korea. But either way, there is a satellite missing, and we have no idea where it is.
Great. Hang on 1 second. You're telling me that you think the bigger story out of the things you said is that a spaceship went missing in outer space and not the fact that you just admitted to Neptunians?
Is that not common knowledge?
No, none of us. Have you ever heard of any interplanetary species? No.
Yes.
I know.
That's like every day of my life.
What? There's other.
I'm a bounty hunter and war correspondent for NASA. Okay, like what else? What do you think I do every day?
You're pitching satellites in the same breath as telling us that aliens exist.
You wanted politics. Okay, I'm trying to do one step at a time here. Okay, the satellite, this very important to our international relations because the information it receives, it is gone, and North Korea, possibly Neptunians, something about it.
Okay, go ahead and give me a. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Can I ask a clarifying question on this story?
Please, you may.
Gerald, baby, you said that it's completely gone.
Yes, but the coordinates for the.
Did they check everywhere in space?
Every nook and cranny.
Okay, can I ask one more thing? Did they check Uranus?
I've got to say, Uranus is such a beautiful place that you can't really find anything.
Thank you.
Real deep and dark in there.
All right, journalists, we've got 3 different competing headlines.
I didn't get
sorry about that.
Headline.
I was just about to get that from you. Grant. Go ahead.
Who has excellence?
That's the headline?
Who has excellence?
Gotcha. That's the entirety of the headline? It's just, who has excellence?
Where is it?
You don't think that's going to be a little confusing? All right, so we've got our 3 headlines. Who has excellence? We've got Moose on the Loose and Healthcare Crisis. I like it because these are all very, very brief. Now, if I'm wanting to make up some news, I might have to lean away from a healthcare crisis. I feel like that might be something in actuality. So, Evelyn, I'm going to go ahead and veto that one for my own personal power. So now we've got the only other 2 to vote upon. Actually, wait, Evelyn, yours wasn't voted on last time, was it?
One last time. This is the best thing that I come up with.
Well, in that case, hang on 1 second. Since Magnolia won the last article, you are by default not allowed to get this one because I just made up that rule right now. So it's between Healthcare Crisis and Where's Excellence? Moose on the Loose is going to have to take a back seat, mostly because I think that's an actual headline. And we'll get to that in the end.
It's been done with a pig. 1974.
Okay, Moose on the Loose is gone. So we have 2 to vote between. It's either Where's Excellence or Who Has Excellence and Healthcare Crisis. You each have 15 seconds. We're going to go ahead and start with you, Magnolia. You have 15 seconds. Which one? Healthcare Crisis or Who Has Excellence? Begin.
Well, Healthcare Crisis, that's a good one, but I do feel like I read about that all of the time. And I don't want to relive my nightmares in our newspaper. I like Who Has Excellence because I'm confused and I'm clicking.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Magnolia. I think that's a very fantastic point. I also am confused and would click. All right, Evelyn, you have 15 seconds to defend. Would you like Healthcare Crisis or Who Has Excellence? And
Obviously,
begin.
I want Healthcare Crisis because his excellence is not excellent. You've lost things in space. in space, in your Uranus?
And that is your 15 seconds, Evelyn. Thank you very much. So we've got 1 for healthcare crisis, 1 for the who has excellence. All right, Garth, go ahead and give us a 15-second pitch.
It's Gerald, and I have an answer for both of you in support of the satellite going missing. All right, this is serious. This is important. If it's gone, our whole entire universe is at stake.
And that's your 15 seconds. It seems like you have a very, very interesting take on that, Grably. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and go with the space race, because that's the same thing that sold papers in the 50s, and I think it's the same thing that's going to sell papers today. Who
Good man.
has excellence? Beautiful. We've got our sports headline. We've got our political headline, and now it's time for our last headline before we get the main headline, and that's our entertainment piece. So, who would like to go first for the entertainment headline? Don't all jump at once. Okay.
I'll go first.
Thank you very much, Magnolia. Hit me with it.
All right. So, do you know country music superstar Reba McEntire?
I know her well. We used to date in college.
Oh, a man of taste. All right. So,
Coincidentally, I
Reba,
did too.
I don't believe you.
I
So,
don't believe me.
Reba had a show this past week at the Grand Ole Opry, and when she went to the stage door to enter, the security guard actually stopped her and barred her from entering the venue because he thought that she was just an impersonator trying to make her way in.
No, I could believe that. There are many times where I showed up to the date and asked when Reba would get there, only to find out that it was Reba who was already there. But I have that issue with the face thing where you can't really tell what people are.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's just because she's so pretty that you can't believe that she would really be there. But she is.
It's like the sun. If you look at it too long, you'll lose your eyes. Like
Mm-hmm.
they'll just pop right on out. So
Just
the
like.
bouncer stopped Reba from being able to get into the venue?
Yeah, she was outside. She's trying to convince him. Obviously, she doesn't have an ID on her. She's going to perform a concert. So she had to wait for one of her team members to come out.
Okay, understood.
She's not a great actress.
I
She's
never
not.
said she was.
It's just
whoa.
that, I mean, that's clear. In that big sky that
Reba.
her and her husband are doing, the big sky show now. She's not amazing.
She's a lot
You
better than I
talking
think
about
you could ever
Dolly
be.
Parton?
Now I'm talking about Reba McEntire, red hair, right?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she's a singer first, for sure.
She's a singer first, an actress second, and love of my life third. Reba, if you're watching this, I miss you, and I wish we could patch things up. That being said,
She's
Magnolia,
married now.
what would the headline be?
That was your one chance, Fancy.
That was your one chance, Fancy.
That was your one chance, Fancy. Don't let me down.
That was your one chance, Fancy.
No.
Let me see if I can move this up a little to get that in there and pop this down a little. There we go. That was your one chance, Fancy. Beautiful. Let's see, let's resize this right here, and the sad one underneath. We'll just take it a little bit lower, take it a little bit higher. And
You're
then
really
move
good at
like
this, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it real time, which I'm realizing might not be the best for viewers at home, but it'll be completed. Okay. That was your one chance, Fancy. The story of Reba McEntire getting kicked out of her own concerto. Who's up next for an entertainment headline news? Evelyn? Gassy?
So I've got some sad news that the star Alf, he was found dead in his home. He suffocated on a hairball. Born Gordon Shumway, October 28th, 1756. He's best known for sarcastically never wearing pants. And so yeah, he was a big role model in the 80s and 2000s, you know, through the 2000s for kids. Pants thing not at all withstanding. So it's real sad because they were just about to do a reboot of Alf. I'm saying Alf. You know who I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Are
For the
you
longest
old
time, I was
enough?
like,
Were you?
yes, no, I am. I was born in
ALF.
1937. I was born in 19. I know ALF. I know who Alf is. I know who Alf is.
1756.
Alf stands for
He's an
alien life
alien.
form. Alien life form.
So-
Alf.
So
Yes.
I suspect because we're talking about aliens that our buddy Gerald over there, he's gonna give us
Thank
a
you.
nod for this one. Right?
So you're saying, Evelyn, that Alf has passed away?
He's dead.
Understood. Then what pray tell would the headline for this be?
Alf is dead. Bold it though. Alf
Thank
is
you.
dead.
Thank you,
Put
Evelyn.
it
Yes,
in bold. You want me to spell
yes.
that out for you?
No, I get it. No, I
L-
totally understand. We're gonna just leave the
space
first. We're gonna leave this one up for just a second.
is
Alf is dead is your headline.
that's I-S
Yeah,
space
yes, Evelyn.
dead.
Listen. Drink a Robitussin or something. So,
It might be time for
Garbly,
my medicines.
Gareth.
It's Gerald.
Gareth.
Gerald.
That's what I said. Gareth, it is your turn now to give us your entertainment headline.
As much as I personally miss Alf, he's a dear friend of mine, I must say there's more important things actually that came up. In honor of Christmas and everything going on, I wanted to share this with you. There was a special kind of aurora borealis that was displayed over Mercury recently. Now, real news about that is that obviously the Mercurios are actually sending out signals to people on the sun, but that's a whole different story, and it doesn't really relate at all to terrestrials. So I would just say Christmas light aurora borealis colors, and it was beautiful.
So you're wanting me to believe that aliens of Mercury are called Mercurials and not Mercurians?
No, Mercurios. Okay, they're very particular about this. Mercurios.
Like a cereal, as if you were to eat a cereal from Mercury, they'd be called Mercurios.
I mean, if you want to draw that connection, I can't stop you. But that's I also would like to honor my fellow creature.
Once
Believe
again,
me, they get hot under their collar.
Once again, Gapley, what I don't understand is why you're pitching the story of an aurora borealis when you've just revealed that there are alien life forms on Mercury.
Oh, okay, here's the thing. I've been so out of it, like literally out of this earth for so long. I just don't remember what touches the heart, okay? And I'm just trying to find something, all right? The Christmas light aurora borealis was displayed over the surface of Mercury, and it was nice, okay? Granted, it was created by the Mercurios for reasons not relevant. But regardless, it was nice.
Give me a headline. Come on, give me a headline about this one. How am I going to sell it? How am I going to pitch a paper?
Christmas aurora over Mercury.
Christmas aurora over Mercury. Christmas aurora over Mercury. We've got 3 headlines going head to head. It's up to me to choose which of these 3 headlines, unless, of course, there is anyone watching and would like to drop in the comments which of those 3 that they would like to see winning. Our wonderful editor, who is just a voice, the sole embodiment of this newspaper, will speak if someone is able to do it before we finish our deliberations. You've got roughly about a minute to a minute and a half to pop in the comments and pick which of the 3. That was your one chance, Fancy? Alf is dead, or Christmas aurora over Mercury. Pop it in the comments below which one you like while we deliberate without your participation. Unless, of course, the editor, who is the soul of this paper, chimes in. Okay, so the 3 of you are going head to head. I need your best reason as to why I should pick your headline over the other 2. So, go ahead and give me your best pitch. We're going to start with you, Magnolia, since you are the one who has chosen the last 2. You have 15 seconds to tell me why that was your one chance. Fancy will be the type of news that'll go global. Go ahead.
Well, Reba is one of our greatest, most beloved superstars, and that song Fancy is known by all. And so I believe that if we were to put a snippet of the lyrics into the title, people would want to know what's going on with Fancy. What happened to Reba? I love her. She's so beautiful.
15 is up. I think that's a solid one. I just don't know how much Reba's album sales globally have caused a dent in time. If that makes sense to anyone. All right. Let's see. Evelyn, what is your wonderful 15-second pitch as to why we should go with Alf is Dead? You may begin now.
I think we need to go, if we're basing this on who's globally known, interterrestrially known, it's going to be Alf. So this is giant news everywhere. So Reba doesn't stand a candle to that. And Jimmy, he just talks about just the craziest stupid stuff. Like, what does that have to do with entertainment?
That is 15. So I like your point, but I think you were trying to say interterrestrially, which just is another way of saying global. Were you looking for the word intergalactically?
Said what I said.
All right, wonderful. I'm not going to have any follow-up questions. All right, Groucho.
Gerald.
Go ahead with your 15 seconds.
I'll make this quick. The Reba situation, totally understandable. Aliens impersonate people all the time. Second, with Alf, sweetheart of a guy, didn't really do much extraterrestrially at all. Thirdly, Borealis and Christmas, beautiful.
And that's 15. All right. I have made my personal decision on which one I want to win, but before I reveal it, let's take a second to see if the editor, the soul of this paper, has anything to say.
Ooh, yes, I've been checking all online receipts, and it seems to me they have a liking for the Reba story.
Well, it looks like Reba wins this day. We are going with the headline. That was your one chance fancy. If it were up to me, I would have chosen the intergalactic appeal of Alf, but if people are clicks, then people have chosen. It is Alf. Once again, if you are in our audience, stop, drop the sparkle. Stop. If you're in our audience, please give us the city that this newspaper is from, whether it's a Herald, a Post, a Times, whatever. And the editor will give us that when it is time. All right, so it looks as though we have our 3 headlines for faking news. Now we need the one humdinger, zinger, binger banger of a headline to be able to draw people in to get them buying these papes. So the 4 of you, 3 of you, math of you, really need to bring out your best. What is that one big, brief, main headline that you think would sell more papers than the paper that was sold when the Cubs won the Super Bowl? Who would like to go first? All right, Evelyn, take it away.
Shocking news today out of New York State. They passed a law that come 2024, you can no longer purchase puppies, kitties, or bunnies in pet stores. Rather, you're going to need to buy them secondhand from a shelter. And the law is preventing the breeders for a sale of 9 per year. I don't think these legislators know what bunnies do and how they breed. I mean, it's like multiplying like rabbits for a reason. That's a thing. So
that is a term.
Anyways, pet store owners are not expected to survive this, and they say they can't do it on kibble alone. So this is a governmental overreach, like no other that we've seen.
So, Evelyn, what would your headline be then if this heinous activity is going to occur?
New York State says no to breeding.
The headline you're choosing is New York State says no to breeding. That's what you're going to go with?
No to breeding.
New York State says no to breeding. I'm just asking one more time to make sure that's what you want to go with.
That's what I said.
All right, wonderful. Let's see how it looks up here. Let's see. New York State,
Kind of slow at this.
no
You could do
breeding.
you could do a hyphen and no more puppies for Christmas. I think that maybe that's better because that's going to get a lot of clicks, and that seems to be important to some people around. These
We're going with New York State, no breeding. That's what we're going to
No
go with
breeding.
for now. So
I mean,
that's
I thought
your
that-
headline, Evelyn.
yeah.
All right, who's got our next main headline request? Is it you, Magnolia, or is it you, Gabayalo?
First of all, are you serious?
Yes,
I don't even know what name you called me.
I ran out of G names, so
You've missed one. It's Gerald.
Gerard. Thank you very much, Gerard. Go ahead.
At this point, it's the closest one you've gotten thus far. Okay. So actually, our satellite Perseverance, or rover Perseverance, also known as Percy, is on the surface of Mars and has picked up sounds of a a dust devil. That is. Sorry,
You're
those are
saying
very
that-
different things in space.
Hang on. You're saying that the Mars rover has picked up sounds of a vacuum cleaner on Mars?
That is correct. It is, which I'm not very shocked by. Again, everyday occurrence. But I feel like the general public would love to know that recently recordings of people attempting to upkeep their domiciles in Mars is something worth noting.
So what would your headline then be for a vacuum cleaner found in Mars?
It's dirty up there.
That's it? That's your headline?
Right now.
All right. So if we take your headline and put "It's dirty" up there, wonderful. So we've got your headline. It's dirty up there about vacuum cleaners, dirt devils specifically found on Mars by the rover. we've got New York State not allowing any more breeding. So New York State says no to breeding. Well, Magnolia, what do you have for us? Sorry, Maggie.
Thank you. Well, I have heard this story. This is actually a girl that I went to high school with. She lives down in Florida now, and she is suing, Kraft mac and cheese.
Yes, I do.
You know, those little ones, like the portable, you just pop them in the microwave ones. I love those. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the Kraft mac and cheese, and then you stir it with water. Yeah.
Yeah, she's suing them over those because they say that they only take 3 minutes to make, but that's just the cooking time. She is saying that since it actually takes her like a minute more to like pour in the water and like stir it, that is illegal and it's like false advertising, and so she's suing them for like millions of dollars.
All because the advertised time wasn't 100% correct?
Yeah, because they're lying.
Oh, so you're saying that just because it takes a little bit of extra time to pour water into a cup that she deserves millions of dollars? Are you taking a stance on this? I'm sorry.
I believe this is already a news story. If I believe this might already be a news story for a lot of ask about.
Yeah, it's about to be because
No.
this is
Plagiarism.
Gina, I'm talking. It's my turn. And so this is as a small business owner myself, I know that advertising is very important. Marketing, you've got to have a unique value proposition, something that sets you apart from the competition. But if that's a lie,
Magnolia, I don't do this often, but I would like you to be honest with me. Magnolia, are you pitching to us a real news story right now?
yeah, I'm pitching you a real news story because maybe your newspaper needs some real news in it.
Oh, Magnolia, I told you from the beginning. We don't
It's
put anything
ridiculous.
real in here. Oh my goodness, you would
click
have
on
gotten away
this.
with it too. I know you would, but we want people to click more. Thank you so much, Gerald, for catching that one. I would have
got
let
you.
that slide. It was sounding like
No,
the
the
most
ready-
impressive of the three stories.
Gerald's a
No, I was
punk.
ready.
Gerald is not a punk. You're not allowed to say rude things like that, okay? Well, and at the end, we're going to find out if you were able to sneak in literally any other real news stories into this. So, audience, our
I'll
wonderful
need
people
to lay
listening
off
at home.
Jimmy. Okay, he's
Hey.
a little
Evelyn's back.
right.
Welcome back,
I
Evelyn.
think
thought
you were
were
the
taking
first one to
shower
pick
nap
on
with
me, but
I was. Don't take that away from me. So, audience, we have two headlines to vote for. It's either New York State stops breeding, or it's dirty up there. Go ahead and vote in the comments, and the wonderful disembodied voice, the ghost of the paper itself, will chime in once the audience has spoken upon which of those two headlines they'd like to see. Magnolia's main headline has been disqualified because she's trying to pitch actual real life news in what is clearly, as you can see, a faking news show. Man,
Thought
if
it
you
was
say that
good.
the wrong way, it could come out wickedly inappropriate. Faking news. Like if you're Irish, you know what I'm saying? Like an Irish person saying it, faking news.
Are we gonna argue?
Oh yes, you have
Or-
15 minutes. Seconds. I'm
I'll
sorry.
take
Don't
15
take
minutes.
No, you will not take 15 minutes. So you've got
Go ahead,
15
Jimmy.
seconds.
Go ahead first.
Yeah, Gerard's way. Go for it.
Gerald. No, it's very, very straightforward. I mean, dust devils are out there, and some people like to know that. And honestly, to be clear, it's developments by Martians themselves because they like to set up the temperature differently.
Time. Thank you very much, Gerald. Evelyn. He's argued for his. You argue for yours. Go ahead.
Our rights as a people are being tampered with. We should be able to get a purebred puppy for Christmas, a Lopsy Flopsy bunny for Easter.
And that's your time, Evelyn. All right, Magnolia. Which of these two are you going to pitch your hat in the throw ring for? Go ahead. You have your 15 seconds starting now.
Not Gerald's. That's it. That's all I've got to say.
That is your 15 seconds. Beautiful. So, as of right now, the winning headline, as of right now, until the audience has spoken, is New York State stops breeding. But
The one
once
time
again,
my name is used correctly, it's a denial.
yes, fantastic. We'll give a brief 5 seconds for the embodied voice of our newspaper to chime in. Is there a comment, embodied newspaper?
Ooh,
It's
sorry, I
embodied.
was in the back room. I've just received word from our raving Facebook audience that they are on Maggie's side. So therefore, if Maggie does not like Gerardino's story, then that means no more breeding in New York State's the winner.
New York State, no breeding. There we go. No breeding in New York State is the main headline of our fantastic newspaper. Now, don't go too far, disembodied voice. Do we have a city or a name for our newspaper to be able to put at the very, very top of this?
Ooh, yes, kind of. Our Facebook audience said that our news is not easy, so we should sell our paper to the Inquirer.
Okay, beautiful. So, we will call our newspaper. Oh, we will call our newspaper. Paper. The in. Sorry, that's a
not how
G.
you spell
Hang on.
Inquirer.
Ooh, I believe Inquirer starts with an E.
I know, but I'm
No.
also paying attention to copyright law, and I
Also,
don't want
why
to
is there a
get
capital
sued.
N?
I
Why is there a
need you to
capital
get
N?
off of my back, Jankly.
I gotta agree.
Okay.
That end is bothersome. It's not attractive to the eye.
Definitely. Like it
So,
looks like you want to say it's an outquirer or something.
Okay, beautiful. I fixed it. So,
Outlier.
my wonderful journalists in the newsroom, you've done a fantastic job. Now, before I release you to be able to go back to your normal lives, I need to know, did any of you successfully get a real news story into this paper?
Yes, I did.
Wait a minute. What? What is your real news story that has made its way into the paper?
Did New York State say no to breeding?
New York State said no to breeding.
Oh no, the integrity of
This
our
is
paper is
ridiculous.
lost. That's actually.
Ha!
Wait, did you know that was a real news story,
You should
Magnolia?
have listened to me.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
This is
Wait,
ridiculous.
did you? Hang on, Gerald. Did you know this was a real news story?
Why would I keep hers real news story if I made sure that Maggie's wasn't?
If you don't like to see a successful
But-
Southern lady.
but- To be fair, it is a true news story also that Dust Devils were found in Mars. So
But we turned it into a fake news story.
I
So
tried
wait-
to correct
wait
it
a
on the
minute.
second time around.
Wait, hang on. So, are you all saying that for the main headline, all three of you pitched a real news story?
Yep.
I am never going to use any of you journalists again. You have.
We brought in good business with our smaller articles. Okay.
Listen,
Those are
you
good
all have
headlines.
5 seconds to say a closing goodbye, a quote, or whatever you would like. Gerald, say your goodbyes.
Returning to Uranus.
Evelyn, your goodbyes.
Do you follow that?
Magnolia, do you have anything you would like to plug as a goodbye?
Yeah, bye, y'all. Thank you so much. You can use code SPARKLE10 for 10% off your next order at Sparkle Babies.
Thanks for that. I'm
Thank
going to
you all.
use that. I
Yeah,
wanna be
so thank
fancy.
you all for joining me. Ghost, you may get rid of him. The disembodied voice of our newspaper was not able to step in and help me in time. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, that our very first issue of fake news has real news in it. I'm not happy about saying something like this, and that we failed our very first go-around. But this is not the end. We have deemed ourselves the one source for fake news on the internet that you can trust. Not yet, because this newspaper actually has a real headline in it. But if you enjoyed this show, please subscribe, like, follow on whichever channel you are on. We're on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, all of the things above. This is a weekly show that is going to happen every week. We will create a brand new newspaper live in front of you with brand new characters every week for you all. Our next show won't be until the new year. This was just a test, so thank you for joining us on our very first test stream. This show is coming to you in 2023, starring Swan City Improv, a Lakeland improv team that does comedy things. This newspaper will hit everywhere on our social media, only just our social media everywhere tomorrow. Thank you for joining us and watching. You all have been amazing. I wish you were better at helping us stop the real news. But here we are. Disembodied soul of the paper, you were great as well. Thank you all.
Goodbye! And we're clear.